Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler. I am live in San Francisco, California, and you are watching the Nerdrotic channel. Like I just said before, I lost my train of thought, and I don't know why. I come to you from nerdrotic.com. It's not like I haven't done that intro like a million times, but sometimes I just fuck it up like I did right there. I hope everybody is having a great Monday morning. How is everybody doing? It is time for the Nerdrotic Nooner. This is the Nooner, where we talk to you in the chat. This is a fully interactive show because I would be nothing without you guys, and I'd be really lonely and bored. So, by the way, speaking of bored, I was rocking out to Iggy Pop at the gym today. It's, it just puts you in a great mood to rock out to Iggy Pop. I've got the song I'm bored. I'm the chairman of the board. I got that rolling around in my head because I needed to cleanse the Lady Gaga that's echoing throughout San Francisco right now. I know Venom was the #1 movie again over the weekend, but the #1 movie of all time in San Francisco is A Star Is Born. You can't drive anywhere without hearing Lady Gaga somewhere. And what makes me think of that is I have my window open. I like to have my window open during these shows. And my neighbor is rocking some Lady Gaga right now, and my wife was rocking it all morning. I saw A Star Is Born yesterday, and it's actually a pretty, I know, oh God, those kind of movies are not my kind of movies, but it was pretty good. It was a good, I don't know how good of a date movie that is, folks. Yeah, I don't know how lucky you're getting after that movie. I would recommend maybe something with a little better ending. I'll bring up my spoiler paddle. Spoiler warnings. If you guys don't want to know the end of A Star Is Born, let's just say for the 4th time in a row, he doesn't make it. He doesn't make it. But it was pretty good. It was okay. Lady Gaga did a good job with the actings, and yeah, she gets naked, like full on naked. It's only for like a half a second, but yeah, Lady Gaga. She definitely, how do I put it respectfully? Full on Telly Savalas, we'll just say. So where were the zombies and aliens? I know, Man of Action. That's what I was asking the whole time, or at least a drug deal gone bad. And there was kind of that. So I got that a little bit of satisfaction on that one, waiting for more people to roll in. I was very proud of myself this morning because I think I made up a word. Probably didn't, but I thought I did. So I'm going to give myself credit till somebody else corrects me, which they probably will. But canonoscopy. Canonoscopy. I think what Star Trek needs is a canonoscopy. And I wanted to start out the episode by proposing a show that I really can't be involved in unless I'm like a host. But I'm shouting out to Doomcock, Anti-Trekker, and Trekyard should do a Star Trek canonoscopy episode where they just break down the all the errors one by one in Star Trek Discovery. Not errors, just complete offenses to canon. What made me think of that is there was a couple articles rolled out today because during the New York Comic-Con panel, which was live streamed and it is available, I'll put a link in the description when this turns into a video. The actress who plays the Klingon, who is now, I guess, the Klingon leader. I'm not too sure. She was a follower of Takuma. She had mentioned that the Klingons have hair now, and the reason they have hair and the reason they had shaved their heads was because they were at war. Which, I mean, I would say I'm a little slightly more than a casual. I'm a Star Trek fan, but I'm not a Trekker at all, nor am I a Drekkie. And but I know that that's total bullshit. The Klingons are kind of always at war with each other or somebody else, so that can't be right. And other people have pointed that out. So, but the media came to the rescue, and a couple of comicbook.com, of course, and I think Trek News came out with an article saying that, well, she didn't really mean that, and helped explaining, and we'll go over that later. Yeah, exactly. Bullshit. That's basically what it is. So, yeah, weren't they part of the Dominion War? And maybe they changed their ways after that, but I'm pretty sure I saw a hair there. And the biggest question, because, Star Trek Discovery fans ask questions like this, is do they shave everywhere? Do they shave everywhere? Do we get Klingon Brazilians when they go to war? Do they break out the straight razor, the Klingon wax? And yeah. Yeah. I wonder what a Klingon nail shop looks like. There must be lots of them. There's lots of them here in San Francisco. Yeah. So the other thing I want to talk about when more people roll in is Doctor Who. So I did an early recap of Doctor Who yesterday for our friends in the UK, but from here on out, I'm going to be doing them in the evening for our friends in the US because most of our subs are in the US, but we love the rest of the world. We really do. So, I'll try to mix it up as much as possible so anybody who wants to ask me any questions or give any thoughts on yesterday's episode, if you even watched it, go ahead, shoot them at me. It's all good. I did a review and it still hasn't completely sold me yet, but it's not nearly as the train wreck I thought it would be. So I have to admit that. I have to absolutely admit that. Klingon wax. Right? Oh my God, Star Trek Discovery. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's really a beautiful thing. Also, we got a first look at, I'm not a musical guy at all. Don't like the only musical I like. Oh, there's a couple I like. I like Tommy, Rocky Horror Picture Show, and Wicked. I think that's it. I think that's the only ones I like. Now, but Beetlejuice is going to be a musical. Oh, wait, I like that horrible Spider-Man musical too, and it's bad. It's effing bad. Julie Taymor did that, I believe, who's actually a pretty good director. I think she's actually a good film director. Yes, they go full gaga for Lady Gaga. 40 ounce of ice cold gender fluid. That's a funny name. I like that. Hi, Silver Spike. K or Kiss or KSSS. Tarka Jedi, Mega Grey Wolf, Mr. Roboto, Paul Reg, Matt Guy, Man of Action. Who else is here? Rover, what's up? How's it going? Mako. Good evening, Mako. How are you? Cameron Hamilton, welcome. Welcome. And the Hound 3000 still needs some hugs. Hey, you know what? We all need hugs. We do sometimes. Actually, I don't need a hug today. I'm feeling Sarah S. Hello. Welcome. And Ian Batchelor. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I started out doing a title for the one. If you saw one up and pop back down, I accidentally hit enter and it posted it. I did not mean to do that. So sorry about that. And what happens, what sucks is when you do that and then you do a live stream right afterwards, they don't put out a notification usually. They don't like it when you put out multiple streams. I don't know. Please also check and make sure you are still subscribed in that bell. I have heard from now 7 people who said they have been unsubscribed to my channel and they didn't want to be. Now, if you want to be, that's fine. It's cool. I understand. But if you don't want to be, then please check. How about a bear hug, Gary? Well, Mr. Roboto. Sure. Why? You know what? A big old daddy bear hug. Feisty Fan could go for a hug. So please give Feisty Fan a hug. Also, oh, what's up, Edward Brewer? Our beautiful goddess of the wrench, Mary Ashmead, right now is she won't be here for the first part. I want everybody to send prayers if you do that thing, or good vibes, or just positive energy to her right now. She's at the doctor. She's going through a rough time. So we want to just let her know we're thinking about her. Always thinking about you, Mary. And, she stay strong. You want to talk about a strong woman? Mary Ashmead is a strong woman. All right. That's a fucking strong woman. Not that crap that they write on TV. It's the women in the chat and, Mrs. Nerdrotic and really, especially Mary Ashmead today for what she's going through. Mary, I know what you're going through. Well, somewhat. I drove my dad to his radiation appointments all the time, and it wrecked me. It totally wrecked me. So, So positive vibes to the wonderful Mary Ashmead, who is a wrench for so many channels now, and it's great. It's great. I'm glad she got her start here, and she is, She does a great job. And so do all the wrenches who are within our chat. So I don't want to sound like I'm ignoring you either. The DJ D show says, hi, Mary, bless your day. Hugs and love for Mary. My thoughts are with Mary from Silver Spike, Matt Guy. You guys are awesome. Look at you guys. Crow T Robot, Mary is awesome. Sending positive vibes to Mary Ashmead from Ian Bachelor. The Hound 3000 needs some hugs. Doggy hug for everyone. That is cool. We love my dog gives hugs. Hound 3000, my big dog, dogs usually don't do that, but like she gets, when you get home every day, she gets up and gives you a straight up hug. She's such a good dog. Only good vibes here, says Mako. Yeah, we're gonna, I'm gonna talk a little shit about Star Trek Discovery, but it's mostly a positive day. So let's start out with the best news, the best news. Counterpart, the best new show on television. It is one of the 5 shows that has the Nerdrotic 100% seal of approval. You need to watch that show. You will not be let down. I promise you, you will like it. I have not heard anybody say anything bad about this show. The only bad thing is it's on Stars, and you got to find it on Stars. Season 2 has been announced for December 9th. So originally we thought it was coming in January. It's coming this year. We're talking a month and a half, folks. That is fucking awesome. We are going to cover every second of that show. We'll be live 15 minutes after it airs here on the West Coast. I highly recommend the Blu-rays available on Amazon.com. I think you can watch it, if you can rent it or whatever. It might even be on, it's still on Stars. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you can get the Stars. If you want to do the month free trial and you haven't already, and there's ways to do that with a VPN on a different email address. But I would wait a couple weeks and then like binge it, the first season if you haven't seen it, and then take in the second season. I've now watched the entire season 3 times through. It's one of the most cohesive stories I've ever seen. It's right up there with Mr. Robot, like catching every detail. There's I didn't see any real continuity errors, and oh my god, I can't tell you how freaking good this show is. It is so good. Yes, Counterpart, 100%. Fucking Counterpart's so good. So a brief, it's hard to describe it without spoiling some, but they put it in the description itself. So it exists in a world where our reality has been copied through a accident of science. So in the 90s, sometime in the 90s, they copied our reality, our entire reality, and everybody has a counterpart in the beginning. And in the beginning, it was basically a mirror. Everybody did the same things. Everything was the same. But as time went on, different decisions were made, and it started drifting away, and it's turned into a Cold War situation. There's a building that's exists over what we believe at the time is a rift, or it's a tunnel. It's literally a tunnel you walk through. And so it's science fiction with a little bit of 1984, with a little bit of Brazil, a little bit of, a good a very good spy drama. And J.K. Simmons plays 2 parts, and it's the best acting job of his career. This is Academy Award winning J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons, who has played the most accurate comic book character in comic book history with J. Jonah Jameson. And from Oz, a very disturbing show, Oz. Just a fucking brilliant actor. I love that guy. So right now, he's my favorite actor, J.K. Simmons. I would cast him in anything. And I love that they got, there's no ageism here. They get an older guy. He's a definite leading man. I know a lot of people have seen him as like a character actor. He is totally leading man material. So trust me on that one. If you've not seen it, you will see it. You will thank me later. It will entertain the shit out of you. It will. It will. Man, my chair's squeaky again. So let's get to the chat a little bit here. Oh, man. Oh, you know what? I've got the best day planned out. I mean, like, things can fuck it up, or a meteor could kill us all. But so I get to live stream with all my friends, and then I get to go through comic books for the next 4 hours. And honestly, I mean, it's not better than sex, but for me, it's close. For me, it's close. And yeah, I get to alphabetize and inventory my comic books. I'm using the app that Feisty reminded me of, so I'll be able to scan everything. So that means I'll probably get through maybe a half a long box, and I'll probably read about 9 comic books today, which is great. And yeah, we're getting ready for the store. I'm going to be opening up shop soon. Unfortunately, I can't open it up within San Francisco until December 15th. So I have somebody who's offered me very low rent, a pop-up location in Marin County. So we're going to open up for a little while in Marin County because that has to be outside. My non-compete requires me not to sell comic books within 30 miles circumference of the store that I sold to Brian Hibbs, who's a great guy. And I wouldn't want to violate our agreement anyway. And it is 5 years. So the 5 years is up December 15th. Coincidentally, 2 weeks after that is the 5-year anniversary of the Nerdrotic podcast. Dennis and I have been doing this for actually longer, but like regularly for 5 years. First couple of years, we did like 2 shows a month. Nobody listened. But I was in the Starbucks yesterday that we did our first show together in. And I got a lot. It's very cool. It's very cool. So hopefully we can, I can get Dennis up here and we can do the show from there. That's January 7th, 2014. I had anniversary on the mind because a lot of my friends have had anniversaries this week, which is great. Andy Trekker, Trek Yards, Doomcock, and Mecha Random. All right. So bend over. It's time for your canonoscopy. Yes. I hand that over. Doomcock can have that one. I am not. I could do that with. The show I know the canon of. Canon doesn't mean as much. Doctor Who canon is very fluid, kind of like gender fluid. It's fluid. So yeah, I can't. There's no being kind of a canon guy for that show. The only other thing I know a lot about is Spider-Man. Again, they fucked with that canon so much. It's meh. Other than that, maybe Game of Thrones, and yeah, I'll be hitting that a lot later when the show comes up later. If I hadn't already got one, it more likely needs a lobotomy, says Silver Spike. Agreed. Agreed. Just kind of write it off. But it needs like one of the old 1800s lobotomy, like the kind of, they did back then. Of course she's the leader. Yes, she's the leader. STD needs medication, or we do, Tarka Jedi, for watching it. Before we went live, I was watching the end a little bit because I just wanted to be reminded on how bad that ending is. I know some of our friends out there haven't reviewed every episode, so they haven't watched the entire series. I really need to hear their thoughts on the final episode. Is so utterly bad. I can't even describe it. It's Iron Fist 2 bad, which, by the way, got canceled. Can't say I didn't see that coming. They've infected the game with the foolishness as well. Yes, they did. Although I think it was great how accurate they got the woodenness of, is that a word? The woodenness of the actors, or some actors in the show. Not all of them are bad. Anthony Rapp is a good actor. He's just in a bad show. The girl who plays Tilly is a good actor or actress. Michelle Yao, is that how you say her last name? She's I like her a lot. She's not good in that show though. It's not bullshit. It's horseshit. Thank you, Matt Guy. You're right. It's horseshit. Gary, you are looking for canon where there is none. Best to let it be until the next Star Trek. Mr. Roboto, you're right. I never hope for anything to out and out fail. What I think my goal, I'll speak for myself, is I want stuff to come correct. And I don't want it to come correct in just what my opinion is. I take a collection of what all you people think. Because I don't think I am the official arbiter of taste or anything. Of course, I think I have good taste, but everybody does. Or orc shit. Orc shit. Uh, uh, Not particularly a great episode. Mostly harmless sums it up for me. Mostly harmless, which is pretty much what Earth is. Silver Spike, mostly harmless. I wonder if they've updated the Hitchhiker's Guide from harmless to mostly harmless. I don't think we're mostly harmless anymore. Hidden Wiki asked me, Gary, do you like the new companion so far on Doctor Who? I can say that I am a fan of Graham. I think Graham is written really well. I like his story. How it got there was kind of but the aspect of there being a good father figure in the story, I think is really important. I'm glad they put that in. Because the show under Moffat's reign, we'll just say it wasn't very friendly in that department at all. And I like the fact that they bring in a good father figure and he's trying to be, a granddad to this kid who doesn't want anything to do with them right now because he's a step granddad. Um, and like because his real dad, of course, his real dad wasn't there because, that's got to be written into everything, but whatever. So I like Graham. I think Ryan is good. Yeah, they're actually pretty good. I didn't hate the concept of Bill. The actress who played Bill did the best she could with the garbage writing she was given. The constant reminding that she's gay. I mean, we caught that the first 3 or 4 times. But other than that, I thought she was funny. I thought she was, had charm and stuff. But the companions are an improvement, definite improvement. But that interior of the TARDIS, though, I did not like it at all. It was too dark and yeah. And it kind of looked like Tenets a little bit. And now I've heard people say, sorry, I'm seeing I don't know if it's in my glasses or what. I'm seeing like a little hair or something. Sorry. I was talking on our Patreon hangout, and some people tend to think that she's acting like the 4th Doctor. I think she's acting like the 10th Doctor because the 10th Doctor, to me, had a lot of 4th Doctor in him as well. Again, if you're going to do a impression of something, those are 2 good things to do impression on. By the way, my favorite TARDIS interior, I said it on the recap, is the 8th Doctor's TARDIS in that the Fox show. That was my favorite TARDIS interior. And I like the old school one with the circles and stuff, but oh, my Titans episode 2 parody sponsored by Titans episode 2 hot take. DJD show. Titans is not going to be good. I'm going to be fair to it, but it's not going to be good. Akiva Goldsman should not be anywhere near anything genre. I think he can do drama. Okay. I don't know. I didn't like Beautiful Mind. I know a lot of people did. I thought it was meh. JDF reality or JD free reality. I don't know. JDF reality. I am doing good. I am doing great. I love your little PC with the slash through it. That is wonderful. That's how I feel in life. Political correctness is killing art right now. It is destroying art. I mean, I don't care about the politics. It is keeping writers from feeling like they can write freely. They have to worry. I mean, there's writers out there going, oh my God, if I write this into us, is the Mary Sue going to write something about me? It's like, I wish they would just close that out of their mind and just write. I mean, the best example of that from the Mary Sue was when they stopped writing about Game of Thrones after season 5 because of the Sansa scene at the end. I won't say the word what happened because I don't want to get demonetized, but you can all guess. Well, that actually is not something that happens in the book yet, but it's accurate to the characters. It's what happened in that time. It's yeah, and it's horrible. Yes, it's horrible, but these are the kind of things, if they stop showing them in art, then people won't know that they're, eventually it gets erased and we get this weird ministry of truth crap. And we're going to, Doomcock mentioned it yesterday. When everything goes digital, they'll be able to edit stuff out. And then, it's good to show horrible things, okay, in art and show them as horrible, not glorify them as horrible. And I think Game of Thrones actually does a very good job of showing the brutality of battle and life in that time. So, yeah. Uh, the real reason for the Klingon War is Harry Mudd sold the Klingons a bunch of shampoo that turned out to be Nair. Says Philip A. Demick. Yes. Whoops. It burns. Star Wars indeed needs regeneration. Star Trek on life support could be saved. Doctor Who actually pretty good. Yeah, Doctor Who out of the three, which I thought was lost forever, is turning out to be the better of the three, Mako. I will not argue there at all. It hasn't completely won me over. It is not extraordinary, but it's not bad. I mean, to come out and say it's bad, I mean, I can't tell you that. I don't feel that way. I don't. Mega Grey Wolf is still subscribed. Thank you, Mega Grey Wolf. I really do appreciate that. And somebody's giving Feisty some hugs. What's going on, Feisty? Are you working today? And again, thanks for all the well wishes to Mary. You guys are awesome. Trek is dead right now. Saquist, if it ain't dead, it's damn close. I don't know why they chose this path, but this has actually been going on for a long time with Star Trek. Like Paramount didn't know what to do with them. We're talking back to the end of the Next Generation movies and, with Enterprise and stuff. I mean, it hasn't been a good franchise in a long, long time. And that's a damn shame. Tim F talks about Farscape. Farscape is good. Okay. I like Farscape. I'm a latecomer to that party. We did a really fun season 1 review with Viking Bitch. And let me tell you about Viking Bitch. Viking Bitch is a freaking natural on YouTube, man. Her milkshake brings the clicks to the YouTube. Okay. We're going to have Viking Bitch on a lot more. She has her own channel. It's Sculpted Art by Viking Bitch. If you go to our channel page and look to the right, you're going to see a thing that says Tribunal and Affiliates. Go down. She's right there in the bottom. She needs subs. Sub her a lot. She's an artist. She does leather art, and it's amazing and unique. And she's got a great voice, an infectious laugh. We love her. She's been with us for a long, long time. She's one of the few people who watched our Tick recaps, and we just did a Venture Brothers season 1 review with her last night, and it's actually doing really well. So yeah, she's a YouTube natural, folks. She's really good. And Feisty is as well. Feisty also joined us on the Farscape recap. So yeah. All the ladies. Oh, speaking of which, Mary Ashmead, here she is. I need hugs right now. Yep. We sent some out, Mary. Oh, there you are. Thank you, Gary. I'm sweet. Well, you and my mom and Mrs. Nerdrotic think that. Thank you. My mom doesn't think that all the time. One of my moms. I have 2 moms. Long story. Long story. I have 2 moms. They're great. Gary and the Giggle Girls, says Joe. Oh man, Dennis was funny as hell last night too. Dennis has been bringing it. I got to give props to my co-host Dennis. Okay, I know we give each other a lot of shit on the air because we're like brothers. We do that, and believe me, we do it off the air too. But I love that guy, man. I really do. He's like seriously one of my best, most loyal friends, always there for you. Just fucking shows up every time I ask him to for the show. And he has improved so much. He's not Dennis is not a social butterfly. So he's never, been a big talker unless you get him to like start talking about comics. And then once it starts, it doesn't stop. And it took a while for him to get going on the podcast, but he's a fucking pro now. I'm so proud of Dennis. Oh, $5 super chat from Tomcat. What's up? Did you know where those Star Trek shorts can be viewed? I've heard about them. Can't find the actual video. Thank you for the $5 donation, Tomcat. It is truly appreciated, and they are only on CBS All Access. And as reported by Doomcock, accurately, I will tell you, that was confirmed by my source. They did shop it around, and they couldn't find buyers. They were asking too much money. I think they were asking for $1.50 a bag of chips, and nobody wanted to give it. And it was like not even good chips. No, but seriously, they couldn't shop it around, so they put it on CBS All Access to get people to subscribe, a few months early to get some cash flow, which they need right now because the show went horrifically over budget, and it was over budget to begin with. I don't know if that's why they need the cash flow, but a company always needs cash flow. So I would say that the only place you could probably find them are the places one should not be looking for them, if you know what I mean. I'm a big fan of pirates. Now, though I do not condone that because it does cost people jobs and it does cost money, but I will, yeah. So you know where to look. You know where to look. But I would tell you this: you're missing nothing. If you just really, you're missing nothing. It's they shot that like when the crew was at lunch, they just went in and shot it really quick. Okay, so Tarka Jedi asks, have you heard about the conspiracy theory that they wanted to ruin Star Trek because hope makes us hard to control? I laughed when I heard it. After seeing STD, I'm not so sure. I have not heard that. I don't think there's a conspiracy theory. I think that it is. I think everybody else is right. They just don't put as much thought into it as we do. Now, if you're not working on the show, I have no problem with that. Do some of us, I'll speak for myself. Do I put more thought into a TV show that I'm not involved in any way, or don't make it? Well, I guess I kind of do, but like don't really make any money or don't have any skin in the game. Yes, I do. I think about that stuff way too much, way more than a 49-year-old father of two should, but I do because I'm a nerd. Now, do I put more thought into it as just like I said, I'm a Star Trek fan, but I would not call myself a Trekkie or a Trekker. I'm not an expert in any way, shape, or form. Do I put more thought into it than the current writers on the show? Yes. The thing I was talking about earlier was from the live stream. And during the live stream at New York Comic-Con, you can tell that they fed the actors some info, like they had some talking points. So when the Klingon female actress said that the reason the Klingons were at war because they shaved their head, blah, 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 she cited a series like she was citing it out of memory. You could tell if you go watch, and again, the link will be in the description, or you could just search it. Star Trek Discovery New York Comic-Con panel, and it was on sci-fi.com. And the live stream starts at like the 9-minute 55-second spot, I think, and you can watch the whole thing. I highly recommend all of my affiliates and tribunal members to watch that entire thing because you have 10 videos you can get out of that thing. Easy. Lots of content out of that. I just did the one, but that's all I'm going to do. Seikos Walt, thank you. Thank you. It is basically, he says, you look great for 49. I like hearing that. I feel 49, though. I do. Yeah, it's all the virgin blood I bathe in. Yes. Actually works great. Hard to find virgins in San Francisco, though. The show spells STD, sad enough. Yes. And if they do Star Trek Destiny, they'll have another STD. So they have multiple STDs. Did I say Discovery or Destiny? Yeah, Star Trek Destiny. Sometimes I have no control what flies out of this pie hole. Mary fights radiation and wins. like a Fraulein boss, says Tim S. Fuck yeah. What's up, Willie Woodward? How you doing? Willie Woodward put up a very thoughtful and kind tweet about us and our affiliates, and I just appreciate that. And interesting one too. Did I miss a super chat? Holy crap, hang on. If I miss a super chat, I am a bad YouTuber. Well, I mean, I'm already a bad YouTuber, but I did. Joe, I am so sorry. I've got my window up, and that will not happen again. Joe, thank you again for that. You were so generous last night, and he gives another $2 super chat. Hench for life. I really should get that tattoo. I mean, you know, me and Mrs. Nerdrotic have known each other for years. If I did something that was against her wishes, she'd forgive me eventually. She would. This is why I like it. Okay, Mako has been a subscriber for a long time. Good friend in chat. Does not agree with me on anything, but always civil and thoughtful. And that's what makes us different than, I guess, the new word. And I do like this term better than SJW is NPC, non-playable character. I like that. I think that's more accurate. And that's what makes us different than them, because we can have this conversation, disagree, and still have fun and hang out, because we don't deal in absolutes here. All right. That's silly and childlike. So Mako, who has, defended Star Trek Discovery sometimes, been on the opposite end of my Doctor Who views, which is totally cool, but says, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge Trek fan, and Discovery season 1 is not canon in any way, shape, or form. It's only using certain words, but no real depth to them. That's Mako saying this. Okay. So Mako, and if Star Trek Discovery went into the Kelvin universe, I've said this before, man, that would take the teeth out of a lot of our arguments. And honestly, if they did that, I could stop covering the show and just watch stuff I like, because I would just move on. Honestly, I'd be like, then it would just be a bad version of Star Trek. Tarkajete, good point, Nerdrotic channel. At the Venom showing, I debated the cleaning lady about the DC EU version versus Marvel. She thought DC was crap because of the movies, and I had a fit. Yeah, which sucks. Which sucks about that, because DC could be good, and it's not. It's DC is wonderful. Tarkajete. Now, Venom is unless they've already cut a deal, is going to be a big problem for the MCU. And it wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't. And I like Tom Hardy. I do. Now what the show we need to back is Taboo. We need freaking Taboo back, guys and gals. If you have not seen Taboo, that's another one. Maybe that's a 6 show Taboo gets our seal of approval. Dennis would agree with me on that one. Looking for just kidding. Halam 899 did not like Venom. Not gonna argue with you. I will freely admit that there's stuff I just straight up fanboy out on, and I like it. That was a question posed to us last night, when we were asked outright, is there anything, it wasn't last, I can't remember. Oh no, it was during Hangouts. They were asked if there's something we just absolutely like no matter what, and we'll defend it till the end of time, no matter how good or bad it is. And Viking bitch like immediately answered Farscape. I couldn't immediately answer anything anymore. I would use, there would be a time I would say like Game of Thrones, like no matter what it does, it can't turn me, but that happened. Doctor Who, that happened. Yeah, I don't, there's anything I'd fully defend right now. The Expanse. I'd say The Expanse. That's probably the closest thing to I'll defend till the end. I will defend The Expanse till the end. They're currently filming season 4. It looks like Silver Spike Buffy. Yeah, Buffy. Buffy in itself was great, but I think it spawned a lot of badness. Silver Spike, it really did, because a lot of people try weed and speak, and it just doesn't work when other people do it. And Angel, yeah. First couple seasons of Angel are pretty slow. Silver Spike, but man, it has my favorite season finale of all time. Period. Farscape is the only answer. I tell you what, that is just something I got to bang myself in the head for not seeing earlier. I just bought a bunch of action figures. Like I'm in a Farscape. Viking bitch has created a monster. Well, no, you've never defended the writing of Star Trek Discovery, Mako. I didn't want to make it sound like you're like this big fan person of it, but you've disagreed with me on some stuff. We'll just say that, and that's fine. That's totally cool. Saquist, $20. Holy shit. A $20 super chat from Saquist. Thank you. Sorry for yelling in the mic, everybody. I apologize. I get excited. Wow. I think Star Trek needs a full reboot so we can use events like 9/11, SpaceX, and Tesla as part of the Federation's past. I don't think Expanse will do it. Gotta cover landing on Mars in reality. That would be cool as hell. And they can still work that into Expanse in the TV show for sure. I wish they would. Yeah, but the Expanse really doesn't talk about its past very much. And I kind of like that. It doesn't. It tells you that an environmental disaster happened that caused the world to go pretty much dissolving America, which is kind of the hardest thing to believe, that America being just pushed in, and it's a bunch of territories now. It would have to be something pretty catastrophic, and they've never really told us, but the oceans are higher. There's big walls around the cities, and the oceans are higher, but they've never really gone into the past before that. They go into, like the past within its story, but not way beyond that. Star Trek would probably be a better place for that. I agree. I would love to see that. I've always been one that thinks they should go forward with Star Trek, and this is because I didn't even think about this, but Annie Trekker made a great point. Like, you really can't go forward with Star Trek because they'd be like gods with their technology. Like, what problems would you pose them? So the only way you can go forward is if you bring some kind of destruction down on the Federation and you dumb it down a little bit. Because, I mean, fuck, Picard's Enterprise and his era, the technology was amazing. And if you go like another 80 years beyond that, man, then you could have something. I mean, don't use spore drive, but something like that. Like, you can bend space, I don't know. They don't need warp drive anymore. They could just blink to other places. I might be turning into a superhero if I'm fighting radiation and winning. Yeah, you might get superpowers. Stay strong, Mary. Silver Spike says not fade away. Yeah, it's better to burn out than to fade away. Clarissa and the Amos relationship in the next season will be interesting to watch. Yes. Is it Vipers Rada? Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Let me know how to say that, because it's very different from the book. In the book, it's it's like a brother and sister kind of relationship. And it would probably on the outside look really creepy, but fortunately we're in Amos's head sometimes. Well, at least in one book, and we get context of it. And the character of Amos is especially interesting in the show because they've touched on his origins a little bit more than they have in the book. Angel's ending was gutsy and sad. It was, but I want to slay the dragon is a good last line. I think that was the last line. It was one of the last lines. It's easy to say Farscape or any show that's finished unless it gets messed with retroactively. Wise words, Kato Roan. Wise words. And that is what is happening now. And that's what upsets us. That's the stuff they don't need to do. But the reason they do it, and I'm going to, I'm saying it to maybe the one person who doesn't know, because you all know in the chat. But the reason they do it is so they can they can make it their own. When Disney bought Star Wars, their whole intention was to not carry on Lucas's legacy. They wanted to take that property, their characters, and make it their own. Screw Lucas. They're gonna remake that trilogy. I promise you, they're gonna remake the original trilogy in our lifetimes. It will happen. Take it to the bank. In what way will they do that? I have no idea. But my suggestion, if you want to make it actually good, is do like the radio show and expand on it. Make it a TV series. I was thinking last night while I was watching Star is Born. This is why I like TV more than I like movies. The one problem I have with the film is the time moved so fast, so you didn't really get like context of their relationship, like how much they got married really fast, but it showed time passing through musical montages, and that was good. But I think if you made this like a 4 or 5 episode limited series, the impact of it would be greater, like her rise and his fall and everything else. I think you could put more Lady Gaga songs in it. The soundtrack debuted at #1 on Billboard. Not surprised. But where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, that's why TV's better. TV's just better. Talking about Farscape is like flirting for me. Yeah. That's, if somebody wants to talk action figures, that's pretty much, or comic books, same. What happened to Battlestar Galactica, the reimagined version? Jody, I did hear about that. They were going to do another version of it, and man, you know what I would do? If I would go back to Battlestar Galactica, I would go back to the original, right? And not reimagine anything. Make it a sequel. And that's one you can kind of I know Doomcock would hate this idea, but I would like erase Galactica 80 from the canon, and they have been out for generations now. So we have the descendants of we even like Boxy, even, we have descendants of Boxy and Adama, and you go from there. Yeah. The one good episode of Galactica 80 was Starbucks Enemy Mine episode. Oh, that was good. Him trapped on the was it asteroid or a planet with the Cylon, and you saw Starbuck's fate. I remember turning that on and watching it live, and I'm like, because I was expecting to watch schlocky Galactica 80. In this episode, I'm like, did the real ones come back? Or are they rerunning the episode? Or, I don't know. And maybe they were at the time. I can't even remember, but that was such a great episode. It's called Space Folding. Thank you, Saquist. I am obviously not a scientist. Dennis is the one who works with the scientists. I'm the one with the street smarts. He's the one with the book smarts. So does everybody want to see Beetlejuice? Guess what? He looks like Beetlejuice. I know, big surprise. But the first thing I heard from this article is like the worst thing you want to tell people. And he's not going to act anything like Michael Keaton's character. He's going to act very different. I'm all, well, isn't that the one thing I completely like about that movie? I mean, I liked Lydia and everything, and Alec Baldwin, and but Beetlejuice. Screw that. Just look at the picture. There's the picture. He looks just like Beetlejuice, and I love Beetlejuice. Okay, I love the cartoon. I was a big fan of. I saw the movie that summer. when did Beetlejuice come out? I was like 16, 17, 87, was it? So I was 17. So summer. And then I remember ditching a bunch of school. So maybe it wasn't summer when it came out. Maybe it was later summer. But yeah, for an entire week, I ditched, I got in the parking lot down at University Town Center in San Diego with a big old bag of wheat with I can't say it out loud, but the sticky icky, and burned a little bit and went and watched Beetlejuice every day with my friend Chris, and it was glorious. It was glorious. Um, yeah, Beetlejuice. That was the time I remember when Batman came out a couple years later. We stole every Batman poster that we could the night before it opened. So we went far as Chula Vista and worked our way up, and like our apartment was wallpapered with Batman posters that we ripped off, and we made the news. Like, that was us. That was us. I don't want to say my friend's name who helped me do it, but yep, I'm the one who took all the Batman posters. It was me. But back to Beetlejuice. It looks okay. And now the article says something that's weird. Like I said before, it goes, according to director Alex Timbers, Brightman's performance, and who's Brightman? Like, who is it? Brightman's performance will be completely separate itself from what Keaton did 30 years ago. It was 30 years ago. See, I feel old now. One of the things I love about Alex, not only that he's a great theater performer, but he's also a writer. So he brings sensibility that can stand outside of the performance. All right, cool. I'm not going to pay like $1 gazillion to go watch this on Broadway, so hopefully somebody will and let us know. Yeah, Alex Brightman. I don't know who Alex Brightman is. It's musical theater talk on Nerdrotic. Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey, what is up? The Starbeck episode of Galactica 80 was supposed to lead into his return, but obviously the show got canceled and it never happened. And it's such a great standalone episode, though. I love it so much. I did not know that, though. I didn't know that. Silver Spike, it's a musical. It's Beetlejuice the musical. I would much rather have Beetlejuice the movie with an older Lydia and fuck yeah, bring Alec Baldwin back. That's something I will not say very often, by the way, like ever. No, you don't need to bring him back. Actually, just leave him out. I like the idea of having Trek Yards, Anti-Trekker, and Doomcock and Lore. Lore Reloaded. Thank you, Brandon. My bad. Together for having a Star Trek canon court martial. Straight up. I mean, yes, there's the tribunal, but I gotta say, I do not have the Trek knowledge that those guys have, and I know there's Mecca and Tom. I think Tom's pretty damn good on Trek knowledge. He's better than me. I'll say that. But I would like to see like a one-time. I'd be happy to host it. I'd be happy to facilitate it, but I doubt they need that. But I would see that, and I mean that's something they'd have to write in advance, and they'd also have to watch the entire series. That's the stickler with the whole thing. But yeah, Brandon, I would love to see that. Who knows? Maybe Doomcock watches my live streams once in a while. I've heard a rumor that he might peep into one, but he's a really busy person. But Michael Keaton's portrayal was what made me like the movie. Exactly. That's like Ace Ventura remake without Jim Carrey, right? It's like making The Jerk without Steve Martin, It's like making Ghostbusters without the original cast. Oh, they did that. Yeah. That happened. Mecca. Rob is more of a Star Trek expert than Tom. Thank you, Mecca. You can get Rob in there then. I just suggested it. It's simply a suggestion, and they can have my word canonoscopy if they want to use it. Trek Yards would never go with that. They wouldn't. Well, then just get Doomcock and Anti-Trekker and Lore. and Rob. There you go. That'll work. That'll work for me. Um, Saquist says, I am literally an expert on 24th century and TMP Trek. Okay. That is brilliant. I cannot say I am. I am a fan. But that's why Star Trek fans are like they're the OG fan base and they're the original fan base because they take the time, they give a shit about that stuff. They go out and make Stage 9 goes out and makes this beautiful interior to the Enterprise D out of love, out of pure love. And yeah, you know what, CBS, how could you not look like the bad guy doing that? Even if you have every fucking right to do it, there's better ways to handle it. But they wanted to make it public. They wanted to shame the person. They wanted to not only like take the thing away from them, they wanted to rub it in their face. They wanted to, that's what a bully does. That's a real bully. That's toxic. If you want to use that freaking word. Yeah. Get me started on that. Gets me mad. I don't want to be mad today. Hail Mecha Random 42. Watched the whole video last night from your anniversary live stream. Was great, and I wish I could have seen it live. That was definitely check out her anniversary live stream. It was lots of fun. I got to see most of it. I couldn't participate too much because I was doing something, but that's what live streams are awesome for. You can multitask, but definitely congratulations on 8,000 subs and bunch of views and 4 years. Changing the direction of your channel, which is like scary, and it worked. So fuck yeah. Maybe after I was rich first. Oh, sorry, that's a crosstalk. Mary, you are rich with strength, and you got a good family. You're rich. Yeah, Mega Grey. Just bring Keaton and Ryder back, and you can have the rest be new characters. Exactly. Oh my God, Hollywood. I'm going to give you some really obvious, unsolicited advice that everybody in this chat has been saying. I've been saying, all our affiliates been saying. Just look at Cobra Kai, and that's it. Watch Cobra Kai. Ask the makers of Cobra Kai every question you can think of, and then go from there. And you have a very good start on how to reintroduce an old property with some freshness, I guess, lack of a better word. Mako says anti-tricker is a bit too political for me, so no thank you. Really? I mean, I watched a lot of his live streams. He doesn't get real political. He talks about him sometimes, but okay, I understand. He's actually a nice guy, though, Mako. He really is. Trust me on that one. What's up, 8-bit? Oh my God, how am I going to say this now? 8-bit Snake Boy? 8-bit Snake Boy. Did I say that right? Hail to you. Hail. I know. I was asked if I would use my superpowers for good, Nerdrotic channel. I said after I was rich first. Oh, got you. Okay. Yeah. I mean, like, good is such a especially in this postmodern world. There's no good. There's no bad. There's just nothing matters anymore. Yeah, everybody doesn't love everybody, and that's cool. That's fine. I understand. But I will stand by Mako as being a very respectful person in the chat. Always has been a very respectful person in the chat, and I will stand by the fact that Anti-Trekker is a good dude. I've talked to him in his chat. I've been in his live streams. Totally dig him. His live streams are really laid back and fun, and he just puts up his little animations, which are freaking brilliant. I guess his kid helps him with them, which is even more brilliant. Sounds like a good dad. I like good dads. The new Charmed was kind of interesting. I was going to hate watch that and cover it, and then I thought better of it. I'm like, I don't want to do that. It's like, it was too easy. Wish they didn't lay it on the man bashing. Well, that's why I was going to cover it, because it says in the description of the show, it basically says woke Charmed. And I'm like, you do realize that this show was popular because it had 3 pretty girls. wasn't that real. That wasn't that like amazing storytelling they were doing. I mean, it was decent enough to keep people interested for a long time, but it was because of three pretty girls that I would I would venture to say the vast majority of the charmed audience was male. That's the one thing I know Hollywood hasn't forgotten it, and maybe they want to change this, but usually, like, well, I mean, there's a lot of reasons people watch shows. Sex appeal is one of them. Yeah, so we were gonna cover it and crap on it, and I'm like, nah, I'd rather talk about something positive. So we did Venture Brothers instead, and boy, am I glad we did. Had a great time. Tim F. Yeah, Charmed is not going to last very long. They're going to find out that they just alienated 75% of their audience. I mean, like, it's okay to put some modern stuff in there and have some fun. There's ways to have fun with it. And maybe that's what they thought they were doing. And maybe they did that because I haven't seen the fucking show and I won't. But yeah, you 8-bit Snake Boy, do yourself a favor and watch Cobra Kai. Oh my God, is it good? It is fucking good. The only reason it's not getting are for the Nerdrotic Awards, which I'm totally outing right now. The only reason it's not getting Best New Show is because I think Counterpart is just a teeny bit better, but not much. Matt Guy says Trek Yards and Anti Trekker have been great lately. Feeling kind of bad for Foley. Mecha Random says, I am more of a Trek fan than a Star Wars fan for sure. Yes. I can't say I was more of a Star Wars fan than a Trek fan for a little while, back in the late 70s and early 80s. But ever since then, I've been more of a Trek fan than a Star Wars fan. Well, since the prequels, we'll say since prequels. Yep. I was out of Star Wars at the prequels. I was done. They took the stuff of legend and fucked it up. All I wanted to see was the battle, the supposed battle by lava that we got our Vader origin. I had this epic thing in my head, and we got I have the high ground. Oh, George. That's what Harrison Ford said in the beginning. We should have known. He's all, people don't talk like this. And I could say that about every CW show. I've never watched Charmed to begin with. I thought it was boring. And yeah, and as a as a female, I think you would think it was boring because it was just like halter tops and whatever the fuck was going on. Yeah, Silver Spike said Charm sucked. Yeah, Charm sucked. It tried to be Buffy, but it was like two-dimensional, and yeah, it had three pretty girls running around. It had Alyssa Milano, which I could never look at. Okay, so I'm old, so I remember Alyssa Milano being on that sitcom, right? Who's the boss? So I could never look. I always see that little girl, so I could never look at her that way. That was my problem. I was like, I don't want to. No, you know. I'll tell the story again. It was like I was watching. Oh my God, Penny Dreadful, and the first time we see the girl who plays Rose from Doctor Who, Billy Piper, and she's like full on naked, and I like got the whole like I just saw my sister naked kind of vibe. I'm like, no, you're Rose. What if the doctor sees you? Shit, put something on, girl. I mean, she was dead in the scene, but I did like Penny Dreadful a lot. Gary, they actually use the word woke in the new Charmed. I love the original Charm because I had a massive crush on Alyssa Milano. See, there it goes. Yes. Generally, when you have to announce you're something, you might not be that something. Sometimes I don't know. I don't know. Woke is a ridiculous term. You're just super busy all the time. I get you there. Watch it when you can, when you have time. It's good that you're busy though. It's good to be busy. Busy is good, man. I don't mind. What I enjoyed about the original was it did not make the Charm sisters powerful by emasculating and undermining the males in the show. Which is, God, is that trend ending soon? Can we please? It should be ending soon. What will kill that trend is what's killing it is people not watching. Yeah, yeah, Kato. I'm definitely not gonna. There's shows I will crap on. There is. I have crapped on was crappy, but I gave it a fair shake. Star Trek Discovery. If you go to my recaps, I gave it a fair shake. I'm like, all right, I watched the Midnight's Edge videos. I have some preconceived notions here, but I'm going to try. And I even brought on a co-host who liked the show, and that didn't help. By the end, I was like, oh, I think it was the last episode where I'm like, I'm done. This show sucks. I can't take it. It's a piece of crap. but if I have a preference, I would much rather just talk about something fun. But I'm a human being, obviously. Mecha's a robot, but she's programmed like a human. So she's got some free will programmed in there. And we like sometimes we got to call out when shit sucks. I mean, the worst thing to a property is being, I mean, like I consider myself more of a fan man than a fanboy, but being a fanboy on it or fangirl and just loving everything they put out no matter what. And just everything's amazing. Everything's amazing. Everything is not amazing. Discovery is really hurting the views on Trek Yards. It's so polarizing. Yeah, it's really tough to when it comes to Discovery, you got to have a take on it, either pro or against. There is no middle ground on YouTube for that. But Trek is smarter than Star Wars, Sequest, by far. And with Star Trek Discovery, it's just you know what? It's like the people who want. I don't know. Yeah, I put it like Phantom Menace. There was people who freaking loved that movie when it came out. A few years later, they're like, yeah, it kind of sucked. Now the general consensus on Phantom Menace is, well, it's not as bad as The Last Jedi. And it's not. It's clearly not as bad as The Last Jedi. But Star Trek Discovery in a few years, people will go, yeah, it sucked. They'll admit it because it's not good. I mean, there's nothing good in it. It doesn't even have good. Lorca's plan is so fucking stupid. But what's dumber is the season finale that ends the entire Klingon War. Sorry, spoiler warning. I'm really going to spoil it for you. With the fake detonator. Michael Burnham talks out what the entire Federation couldn't figure out, and they were going to blow up. They were going to blow up a planet. The Federation was going to blow up a planet and commit genocide. And Michael Burnham talks them out of it, going, we've got to have morals too. And then talks to Klingons with let's all be friends and love will save the day. And I've got a fake detonator. And then she lets the space Nazi Georgiou, who from another dimension where she was an empress and basically a goddess, brings her over here where she's a nothing and like lets her go. And she like eats aliens. She ate a Kelpian. It was the dumbest. And then most of that show is talking about feelings in restaurants, in corridors, and in hallways. And most of it is affirmation. It's people walking up to Michael Burnham going, you know how awesome you are? You're so awesome. You're awesome. You're really awesome. If you weren't so awesome, I could not live because you're so awesome. That's the entire last episode. I can't wait to see Doomcock's video on it. You guys got to, I know some people haven't seen it, but just skip to it. You don't even need to see anything beyond that because it's so fucking bad. It's indefensible. You cannot forget the cast, forget everything. The storytelling in that last episode is, that's what you That's Star Trek now? Ugh. I give things a chance. Gary, can I ask, do you read Immortal Hulk? And would you consider it a horror comic, especially with the way they do him? I've read the first issue, Chris. I'm horribly behind. I would consider it a horror comic, and I love that. I freaking loved it. I loved it. Okay, the writer was a complete shithead on Twitter, and I almost didn't read it because the guy was a complete shithead to the fans on Twitter. He's basically he pulled a Chuck Wendig. He thought better of it. Shut up later. But that almost dipped me out of the comic. I'm glad I separated that and just read it, and man, it was cool. I would consider, well, from what I've read, a horror comic, and I think that is a really fun new way to kind of take on Hulk. And I love the mixture of horror and superhero. I've always have. Tiny segment of the audience is controlling the material presented. Huge blowback from majority. Absolutely, CD horror, and it is the majority by far. Just look at the actions of CBS All Access. If Star Trek Discovery was a hit, runaway hit show, Game of Thrones, do you think they would put out anything to compete with it at all? And even though they're not showing it at the same time, it's a streaming service, so it's there right next to it. It's competing with it. I would let, if it was a runaway hit like Game of Thrones, I would let it breathe. I would let it be on its own for 3 seasons, and then you do a spinoff. Wow, thank you for the $10 super chat. Joe, $10. Love your Farscape review with Feisty and Viking Bitch. It would be awesome to have them on more. Plus the mighty Doomcock. Hail Doomcock. Dennis is your partner in villainy. Joe, thank you so much for the $10 donation, and I love all those people. I really do. Feisty and Viking Bitch are good friends. If I didn't have this channel, I wouldn't have met him. Doomcock is a friend. Dennis is, man, Dennis helped me at a very, 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 very dark time in my life, which is a story I'll tell someday. Yeah, dude, I'll take a bullet for that, dude. Just for that. Sayquist is, yes, I do believe in calling a spade a spade. Yeah. Don't hold back. There's a great message in A Star is Born. It might have been repeated in the previous movies. I don't know, but it really relates to YouTubers. Okay. And Jack, who's the main character, is talking to Allie. And he says, right before she's about to go on her first big performance, he pulls her aside and goes, I would kill myself if I didn't pull you aside and say this to you, because basically nobody said it to me. When you go out there, you do not hold back, be honest, and tell them your message, basically. Everybody goes out there and sings. Everybody sings this, it's the variation of the same 12 notes. Music is just a repeated story. It's how you tell the story and what your message is within. You go out there and you be honest. If you're fake, they will fucking know, and you will be gone. You'll be a one-hit wonder. The only way you last in music is how you say things, and don't let anybody change that, that absolutely applies to YouTube too. Get your message, be honest. You're going to get blowback for it. Absolutely. And it sucks. And I think we all go through that as YouTubers. We're like worried about what people think, and like, are we going to piss people off? And the fact of the matter is, you can't worry about that stuff, because I'm going to piss people off. Mecca's going to piss people off. Doomcock's going to piss people off. And we don't intend to do that. But, it's part of the show. That's why, I try to be measured when I can, but I'm not measured all the time. Hell no. I fucking spurg out on shit. Like, I see Supergirl. Jodie puts Supergirl. That show makes me go insane. Like, everything. I mean, it sets fucking superhero shows back a decade. But then somebody could say The Expanse, and it puts me in a good mood. immediately. So yeah. And it's good. It's good to have a healthy debate. It's good to have a healthy debate. And I think it's good that people talk about their feelings. I think it's very therapeutic. YouTube can be very therapeutic. I think Mecca has talked about this, Doomcock. Uh, I think a lot of people have talked about it. My friends over on the comic book side, Feisty has talked about it. Yeah, you know, the community aspect of it is great. We are social creatures. Isolation is very, very bad. Isolation is horrible for an addict like myself, for anybody suffering from depression. Isolation is the worst thing, but it's also the thing we tend to do. As an addict, I want to, when I was getting high, I got so bad, I just didn't want to even get high around people. I just wanted to get high alone. I would lock myself in fucking hotel rooms and do just mountains of crank and draw pictures and talk to myself and go completely insane. And yeah, it's good to have people to talk to, and it's even better to not be agreeing on shit all the time. Um, but the main thing about our channel, and you guys know this, is just to tell you about good TV. Like, there's so much good out there. It's like finding the good for you so you don't have to. And hopefully our tastes align. Sometimes they don't. Them's the breaks. Hidden Wiki, Gary and Dennis make me laugh all the time. That was the first time you all got to hear how much. And that was kind of cool. Viking Bitch, that was very cool because yeah, we have no laugh track here. So honestly, it's just crickets when we tell our jokes, and Dennis and I just laugh at each other. And yeah, and it's basically that's how we talk to each other all the time. We just turn a microphone on. We are constantly giving each other shit. It's pretty funny. Uh, but man, Viking Bitch's laugh, yeah, it has to be isolated. It is wonderful. It's infectious. It's good. It's a miracle I'm still here. Yeah, Silver Spike. I had a few people who, for some reason, still loved me and scooped my ass off the floor and helped me get better. It's been a long road, and I am not there yet. I'll never be like better. Never, ever, ever. But if I'm happy today, that's good. I'll say thank you for noticing it's the action figure wallpaper, 8-bit Snake Boy. You are the first person to notice it as wallpaper. That's exactly what it was supposed to be. And it took a long time to put up, and it's a bitch to dust. Oh, and then right before the show, the reason we were late today is like you make one wrong move in this room and it's a toy lanch. And there was a toy lanch. This whole side, I like opened the door too fast and here, over here. And then I hit that Iron Man, which knocked over that Star Trek thing, which knocked all of these down, which knocked that down, which knocked a few of these side ones down. I was like, motherfucker. But I put him back up. The Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey says Nerdrotic finding the High Council channels and the Tribunal channels, along with a couple others, really helped me. I was just coming off CBT when I dived into YouTube, and you guys made it good. That is great. That's awesome to hear. That makes it all worth it. The Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey. If we're bringing anybody a smile to anybody's face, or even because the whole point is to kind of be funny, and even if we're giving something shit, it's we're doing it like we're trying to be comedic about it. I don't know if we always pull it off. I can't say we do, but that's good. That's the whole point, is like giving you guys some entertainment. And it's weird. It's completely weird that people want to watch us, and I will forever be grateful. And if that shit ever goes to my head, you wonderful people will point it out. That's what I can count on you for. Wallpaper. Yes, it is wallpaper. Toilanche. uh, that actually comes from partalanche. That's an old saying because we used to stack parts, auto parts, like before OSHA used to crack down on it, but we used to put them up. They would be like 15 feet high. And if you pulled something off, it would cause a partalanche and there'd be like, be raining down mufflers and that shit could actually kill you. Toilanche, definitely. Did I finish the the Haunting of Hill House? There was a character who reminded me of you a lot. Was it emotional for you? You taught me a lot about addiction, asked Mako. Yes. I have okay. No, I have not finished. I have 3 episodes to go. I know what character you're talking about. It's interesting how they portray that. It's very accurate. I know some people can probably there's a character with an addiction issues, and the family is like had it with them, right? And yes, there's the disease aspect. I've heard some people go, well, if they treated that character wrong because there's no like sympathy with them, I'm all, but that's how we're treated. I mean, and it's deservedly so in some aspects. The addiction disease thing is a tough one because yes, it is a disease, but it is also a disease that it stems from a conscious decision. You also hurt a lot of people knowing you hurt a lot of people that you could, at some time say no. So I mean, the disease concept is tough because we don't want it to be used to excuse all the behavior because people drunk drive and they kill some people and they just go, I had a disease. Well, drunk driving is against the law. You could kill people. So you are still, that's premeditated murder, in my opinion. This is somebody who goes to AA and fully believes in the disease concept. But if you knowingly get in a car and drive when you're drunk and you kill somebody, that's premeditated because you knew you could. So, yeah, the disease, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to explain to some people. That's why Al-Anon exists. And Al-Anon is really helpful. I honestly think everybody should go to a 12-step program. It's freaking life school. It's wonderful. And it's also like cool social hour too. That's my social hour. It's this and AA. I mean, other than you guys, like, yeah, I mean, I got a couple friends. I don't have like hundreds of friends. No, they all, after the comic shop went away, they kind of all went away too. That's how those things go. Totally fine with that. I am good with you guys here, Dennis and my family. And John. Although I haven't talked to John, our old co-host, in a while. Hope he's okay. Let's go up to the chat. Oh, we got 87 people watching. That is brilliant. Yeah, but later tonight we're gonna have the Haunting of Hill House. I'm liking it a lot so far. It is really, really well done. And it's kind of I would call it like a poltergeist level horror. Like it's not like hard R. There's some jump scares. It's not super gory. It's creepy though, and that's what good horror to me is creepy. By the way, you like the shirt? This is my Halloween shirt. It glows in the dark too. It's fucking hideous. I know. Boredom is the first step to relapse. We are here. We are all here for you and love what you're doing on YouTube. Says, thank you, Matt Guy. I appreciate it. And yes, in my experience with relapse, I've seen it happen just as much with success and boredom than with something bad happening. Actually, a couple really bad things happened to me, and I stayed sober, but then some really good things happened, and I fell off the wagon. So, yeah. Sequist, that is brilliant, and I subscribe to all those channels as well. I watch World Class Bullshitters, Geeks and Gamers, Nerdrotic at work nearly every weekend. That is brilliant. We get a lot of weekend views. That's weird. We had a ton of views this weekend. It was great. Sequist, that's awesome to hear. I am actually a financial backer of the World Class Bullshitters and a proud one. I've never asked them for anything. I used to be vocal in their community, but I've been busy with my channel, but I watch Jeff's morning show every morning. Freaking love Jess. I've been a sub of theirs since way back. Um, and I mean not early, but prior to their, world class bullshitters, guys and gals, are partially responsible for kicking off Comicsgate, although they did not participate in it very much or at all afterwards. But one of their videos was came out right around the same time than DNC's video. A lot of people don't know that. But what I like about the world class bullshitters is they were the earliest that I saw on the Star Wars is not good. They came out against the Phantom Menace and no, not what I say, the Phantom Menace. God damn it, Force Awakens. And Dennis and I did not like it either. And I felt like I was alone. And then I found those guys. I'm like, oh, thank God somebody agrees with me. But they're good. They have a really good podcast, and they talk positive and negative, kind of like us. They cover pop culture. And Jeff's morning show is really good. He's a good artist too. 40 ounces of ice cold gender fluid. Reminds me of the movie Party Monster. The drug part, not the club kid part. Party Monster. Ooh. Halam 899 live says, Gary, how do you think I find your channel? You've told me before, but I've forgotten. So I'm sorry. Was I in? I must have been in a chat somewhere. Because I watch a ton of live streams. I mean, love this show, says Joe. That's awesome to hear. Some of the crowd scenes of A Star Is Born were filmed in Glastonbury. The music festival, yeah. Crow T Robot, any good? Actually, yes, it's a good movie. Mrs. Nerdrotic freaking loved it, and I walked out entertained. It was depressing, but I wasn't bored. The music was okay. I'm nowhere near a Lady Gaga fan, but she did really good. She did really good. But apparently she's a good crier. So that's what was required. Oh, and you know what gives this movie instant cred for me? Andrew Dice Clay's in it and David Chappelle. Yes, Andrew Dice Clay and David Chappelle are in the movie. What's up, Apple Crow? Carpet Lanch killed Roy. I was very sympathetic to him because of you. I am glad to hear that the show portrayed it realistically. They did. Families do not deal well with. I mean, like, how could anybody deal well with this person you love? Who, I mean, it's hard to explain. It's literally addiction is a beast you have to feed, and if you don't feed it, you feel like you're going to die. So you find any way possible to feel it. And the beast that needs to be fed is, I don't want to feel right now, because it's like a snowball effect. You keep fucking people over, you feel worse about it. So you want to numb that feeling worse about it. So you have to keep fucking people over to get the money to buy the drugs to make you not feel about fucking people over and fucking your life. It is hell. It is absolute fucking hell. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And the most controversial thing is when a lot of people like that commit suicide. And honestly, if you're trapped in that life, it's like having a terminal disease. And there are some people who are just terminal alcoholics and addicts, and they're never going to come back or never going to come out. And honestly, maybe that option is better. I mean, it sucks because it takes away all the options of life, but I mean, like, I've seen alcoholics with wet brain and stuff, and you can't come back from that. You're gone. At that point, you are gone. And wet brain is horrible. And a bunch of, a lot of when you see the people on the street, the homeless people, a lot of them are suffering from wet brain. It's It's fucking terrible. And that's from booze. That is perfectly legal. Booze is the killer. Booze is the killer. Like, all the other drugs are like scalpels in your brain, and booze is like a grenade. It fucks everything, fucks your skin. It's horrible. But you know what? The thing is, like a little glass of wine, like once a day, supposedly really fucking good for you. But everything in moderation. But that's a word we addicts do not understand in any way, shape, or form. Can you tell? Like normal people don't have this many action figures. It's about where you point it, you know. Were they cameos or proper roles? Proper roles. Chris Persia. Dave Chappelle's in it at a scene that's important and does a great job. Plays a former musician, I believe. And Andrew Dice Clay plays Allie's dad. And it took me a second. Sorry, I need to adjust my volume here. It took me a second to realize who that was, and I'm like, that's fucking Dice Man. They put the Dice Man, and I instantly, I think that's what made me like the movie. Is putting I love Andrew Dice Clay. I was a projectionist at a theater when Ford Fairlane came out. I watched that movie 100 times and didn't get sick of it. I love that movie. I love that he was like the first. Well, he was also the first victim of political correct culture. Yeah, he says horrible shit in his comedy, and he should be able to without any blowback whatsoever. People want to pay money to see him for saying horrible shit. It should be allowed, period. If you don't like it, just don't go. It's that simple. Yeah, I love the Dice Man. I agree. Everyone should go to AA. You'll be surprised how much it will change your life and make it better, even if you're not an alcoholic. But if those of you who drink and chats say nasty things, need it. What was that? But there are those who drink in chats say nasty things. Mary thinks they need it. Well, people say nasty things without drinking, Mary. It's yeah, I mean, it sounds cultish. It really does, but it's not. Okay, there's no leader. We have no leader who we worship. There's nothing to worship. There is a higher power involved, but it can be like this comb. It can be my phone. It can be whatever it is. It just needs to be a symbol of something you release. You have something. It's a lot to explain, but it is a lot of work. But once you start going and it starts working, it's pretty fucking amazing. But it does not work for everybody. As with all things, it does not work for everybody. And some people are just cool. I said in my previous live stream, the happiest guy I know has got Jesus in his life, and I would never do that. But man, bless him for that working for him, and I would never shit on him for that working for him. I think it's brilliant. I think, yeah. I think there we go. They did a study giving rats drug-laced water, and the rats would drink the water until they died. When they were put in a cage with non-addicted rats, they went as far as stopped drinking water. Really? That's interesting. So they put them in with the sober rats, and they went as far as they stopped drinking the water. That's interesting. No Gilbert Gottfried cameo. Maybe he was cut out. Yeah, isolation it's in the book. You got that's why, I mean, like as a sponsor, our sponsor rule is basically, well, what I do is if I get a sponsee, which I do not have right now, I will later. It's very good to have one, but I don't, unfortunately. Had one, but he's not done yet. So that's how it goes. Yeah, so I make them write the gratitude list every day, and they have to go to 90 and 90. I was a shitty sponsee for a long time. I've been fired by sponsors, tons of sponsors. Uh, the whole, it's funny is I make them do what I would not do is like, you got to contact me once a day. Tell me how you're doing. I always forget. Um, but yeah, you got to stay on them 90 and 90 days. And that's tough doing 90 and 90 is 90 meetings in 90 days. So for 3 months straight, you have to go to a meeting every day. And it is that important because you would get high every day without question. You would get high every day. So you get your ass to a meeting every day. So you are surrounded all the time by sober people because that's what keeps you sober. It's not actually the steps. The steps are something you got to work. You got to read the book. You got to do the steps. But the one thing that really keeps me sober is being around sober people all the fucking time. And now, like, I'm at a point where I could walk into a bar, hang out with my friends, and not drink and not feel like I need a drink or anything like that. I can go to Vegas completely sober and have a great time. Takes a while to get there, though. Yeah, 90 and 90 is a bitch. Trust me. Do people go back after the 90 and 90 day badge, Gary, or was that a show thing? No, people go back all the time. People go back all the time. Rehabs, people, the rehab, like a 30-day rehab, I think the percentage of that working on people is like maybe 3%, maybe 3%. I went to Betty Ford and I partied like it was 1999 when I got out. Now it was actually in 1990. So that was actually a reference that kind of works. Like I was going to be 1999. Yeah. And so Palm Springs used to be a pretty big, spring break location. It used to be equal to Fort Lauderdale. It used to be California's Fort Lauderdale. People went to Palm Springs and just raged. Well, I was there during that time, and whew, that was fun. I remember some of it. Hey, what's up, Nihilus? Welcome. Accountability is so important. Yes, and that's part of the steps. When you get through, you got to. It's part of accepting that you have a disease that will never go away, and then making things right as best you can with other people. But it's more important to me. Like it's important that I make things or try to make things right or try to make amends. But I can't move on from anything until I move past it. Forgiveness, everything, and that includes like anything that happened to like I got kind of horribly abused as a child, not by my parents, but and like one of my hangups was I couldn't forgive the person who did that to me, but I did eventually, and whew, my life was free after that. That made a big difference because if and that's the problem with victimization. That's why I really don't like victimization because it really it's people wear that shit as a badge of honor, and it sends such a bad message to the people who are actual victims. And when victims can't forgive or move past the people that victimize them, they lose every day. They remain victims. They remain trapped in that cage of victimization. And that's why it's such a bad fucking message to be fucking victims all the time. Okay. Cause it sucks. I could be a victim of a bunch of shit. No, I moved. You know what? My parents did the best they could with me. The people who abused me were sick fucks, and and then I'm actually at a point now where I like am sympathetic to like how does a person get there? Like how does that happen? And it's just this endless cycle. That's what happens. Yeah, I see tiger blood. Yeah. How many recovering alcoholics here? Sequest. There's probably a couple. There's a couple everywhere. Sorry if I went down that road too much. Let's talk about nerd shit. I apologize for that. I get going. My mom dating a guy she met at AA and ended up beating her. Yep. Then she met another guy there and also ended up beating her. And I almost took a baseball bat to the guy's head. I'm surprised you didn't, Mega Grey Wolf. As zen as I sound, if somebody beat my mom, I'd fucking kill that guy. Are you kidding me? I'd take a baseball bat to more than their head. Um, yeah, AA does not have angels in it, Mega Grey Wolf, but there's also really good people. But yeah, I've seen some, man, San Francisco meetings can be live sometimes. Trust me. Edward Brewer does not drink. It's good. Drinking is, I mean, you can drink once in a while. I'm not judging. If you guys want to burn. I think everything should be fucking legal. And then the taxes from that can go towards recovery. So we're paying for it anyway. But let's get back to nerd stuff. I don't want to chase all these people out of there. Sorry. Actually, AA is good, but there is, yes, Mega Grey Wolf, there's been some very shitty people walking through those doors. And we have to welcome him in no matter what. But yeah, when shit like that happens, that's unforgivable right there, man. I just talked about forgiveness, but somebody beats the crap out of your mom. That'd be a hard thing to get over for your mom. All right. So I was curious to see, man, how do you transition from that? Holy shit. But let's get back to the fun nooner. Yeah, that's right. Sorry about that, guys. Like I said, I have no control what goes over my pie hole. I want to see what the Doctor Who ratings were for yesterday. I can only look in America. I don't know what they were in the UK. I don't know if they did the overnights. There's the season 11 ratings. Are they out? Nope, they're not out yet. They'll probably be out tomorrow. UK ratings. Who? Ghost Monument. They say continues to draw big numbers. This is Digital Spy, so let's see. According to Liz, I don't know who this is. This is a person who tweets. According to a random Twitter user, Digital Spy is reporting on this. There were 7.1 million overnight viewers for the second episode. That's only a drop of 1 million. That's pretty good. We'll see. Again, you're never going to know until it hits episode 4 or 5, maybe 6. That's when Doctor Who kind of gets its feet under, especially a first season after Regeneration. But that's still pretty big. I want to see what it is in America because the American ratings weren't spectacular to begin with. So we'll see what those were. The American ratings for her premiere was, in the 18 to 49 demo, it was a 0.4. But it was 1.367 million viewers for the first episode, which was 48% up from Capaldi's final episode, the Christmas special, drew a 0.4 or a 1.1.45 million viewers. That was Jodie Whittaker's first. Before that, they were like, it was 0.2, 0.1. I mean, they were in the shitter for America. Terrible ratings for America. UK, it's big. Everywhere else, it's okay. Nerd shit. Thanks for sharing, though. Definitely. I promise, man, I'll be quiet about that from here on out for a while. I'm sorry, guys. 7.1 million for a second episode. Yep. That's pretty fucking good. That's pretty good in the UK, though. But the thing is, it's not taking over here, Mako, at all. So I don't know how important that. Well, it is important because which sucks for all the British viewers because you guys never wanted your show to be tied into world ratings and American ratings and stuff because it affects it now because that's a revenue flow and you don't want to stop a revenue flow. So it will affect how the show is made. Now, greatly, no, it's a small percentage, but it used to have no effect, zero effect. We made it for the fucking UK and fuck what you Yanks think or Australians or anything. And that's the way I prefer the show to be made, to be honest with you. But it affects it now. So we'll see what like I said, the American ratings were not that great. They were okay. They were a slight improvement from Capaldi's last episode as compared to the British ratings, which were almost record breaking, but not quite. That was Deadline Hollywood, and it was an American paper that, yeah, it was an error. Well, I won't say because Deadline's pretty good, damn good. They checked their sources, but they didn't check their sources on this one. And they said that Jodie Whittaker's debut was bigger than David Tennant's, and it wasn't. Not even close. The Night King was on Charmed last night, like from Game of Thrones. Which one? There's two of them. There's the one who was in Batman Begins, played Joe Chill, and then there's the other guy, the younger one. Matthew Matson said it looked like there were some old Farscape sets on the last episode of Doctor Who. Certainly, especially the interior of the TARDIS. I'm looking at the Twitter and it says film, TV, music journalist type person. Views expressed are my own, not those of BBC. So Lizzo or what? Yeah, well, I have no idea who it is. So it's a random Twitter user to me, but nothing official. Just, but I believe it. Digital Spy reports on it, but Digital Spy will report on anything. So yeah, 7.1 is good. It's a million drop. Now the question is, we will see. That here's what it needs to do to be a resounding success. By episode 6, it needs to be at 6 and 7 million viewers. It needs to maintain this. It needs to maintain what it just got on its second view. If it dips down to 4 to 3, it won't. But if it does, that's lower than what Capaldi, I can say it, was at. And it needs to be much better than what Capaldi was at, not just a little better. And the thing is, it's not better here. Fucking Yanks ruin everything. No. 8-bit Snake Boy. Yeah, that was my biggest concern. Well, Doctor Who did go SJW. It went full SJW with Moffat. It has gone away from that and is turned back into kind of a normal show. So I give it credit for that. They got away from being like uber political and and please save the comments that Doctor Who's always been political. Everything's political. Not this political. Not as political it was before. Moffat's era was, and he didn't start out that way. So I don't know if it was him or him being dictated. I don't care. And I don't mind some political stuff. And I've never said what my politics are anyway. But I'd say it's a vast improvement on Moffat. Vast improvement on Moffat. I did like the new intro, Mako. I like the music. I thought I don't like the music within the actual show. I miss Murray Gold. I know you probably was it you? No, Silver Spike who differs with me on Murray Gold, saying he's too bombastic. I fucking love Murray Gold, but the old school theme was cool. That was cool. I like the way the TARDIS look. It was natural rocks. I thought it was different, of course, but I didn't mind it. And it was too dark, and it looked. I was. Well, I don't know. Maybe I read in an article that they were going to do like a smaller, old school one. I was like, maybe I got my expectations set for that, but I didn't know. You redecorated. I don't like it. Sorry, it's my bad British accent. What time do you turn in, Gary? Not that I planned to sneak and steal your Daleks or anything. Just hoping you get enough sleep, honest. The hunky chunky funky monkey, I sleep like a freaking baby. So it is it's 11:42 a.m. currently. I go to bed at midnight every night. I wake up at 6. So I do not require much sleep. I need 5. If I get 6, good. Once a week, though, I got to do 8 or 9 to kind of just recharge everything. But I do not require a ton of sleep. I'm getting old. I'm already starting to do that. I wake up at 3 in the morning and get, a glass of water and stuff. Oh, and another weird thing I'm doing. I'll get up in the middle of the night, I get a glass of water, and I'll make some toast. I'm craving bread in the middle of the night. That's weird, right? Not avocado toast. That's only during the day. But yeah, I make a little piece of toast. I don't put anything on it. My grandpa used to do that, so maybe it's hereditary. No, that's impossible. I'm adopted. Whatever. River Song was the kind of character that would turn me into a sexist just out of spite. um, I liked River Song at first, and then he wrote her into the ground. She was so fucking annoying by the end of it. God damn that scene where she's talking to Capaldi's, what's that face? Are you thinking you're a man? Stop it. It looks wrong. It's like, oh, fuck off. And that was written by a man, by the way. That wasn't written by a woman. So, I mean, that was written by a man trying way too fucking hard. Sorry. I don't think a woman would write bullshit like that. I wanted to kick my TV when I saw that. And the reason I don't like that is because it wouldn't be reciprocal. Now, if it was Capaldi giving her as much shit, then that gives that banter context, and then it works. But if it's just her at Capaldi and he goes, yeah, and then River Song was like the only one who could drive it, and that's like the TARDIS and pilot the TARDIS because the doctor didn't know how, and it was kind of a cute joke at once, but it got carried on way too long, and yeah. Still, I don't know if it's still. I'm going to check live on the air right now. She was still one of the most expensive action figures, though. I think it's Silence in the Library, River Song action figure, the first River Song action figure. I mean, maybe it's gone down in value. Yeah, it's gone down. It used to be like $100, but now it is 65, and I think you could probably get cheaper. The first version of her. Ooh, what are these? Oh, I should not be looking at this shit. God damn it. Motherfucker. Those are cool. I already have those. Okay, sorry. I have a problem. I heard the Ben Browder going to SG1 kind of killed it, though. Yes, David Latham. Counterpart returns December 9th. We will be there live. Actually, I was thinking of something that maybe, I don't know if we can do this or not. I don't know if I can do it on the channel. I could definitely do it on the Patreon, but what do you guys think about doing a watch party for Counterpart's return? So we all, those of us who have stars, and if you're a patron member, I might be able to get you a way to watch it. Wink, wink. We won't talk about that much. But what do you guys think about a watch party I think that'd be cool. Discord will be going. We could do a watch party, and then we can do a recap. I think that'd be great. Oh, is it really? Are you kidding me, Mako? The next Doctor Who episode will be about Rosa Parks. That will be the real test on the political stuff. Yes, especially when English writers do American politics. Yep. Well. They did warn us. Oh, and that's why I'm taking it one episode by one episode, because they said they were going to get political, and they said they were going to deal with, and listen, that's how the show started. The show was supposed to be like going through history and showing history. It was supposed to be educational. It's Super Chat. A big one by Tamarax. Watch party for Counterpart season 2 would be awesome. The trailer has me psyched. The trailer is so good, guys. Watch the trailer. Actually, that's what sold me on the first episode. If you haven't seen Counterpart yet, watch the trailer, the first trailer for the first season. you will be sold. I should have just said that. I didn't need to describe it. Wow. Thank you for the super chat. That is brilliant. Tamrocks, you rock. Tamara rocks. Damn, so many. Thanks again, Joe, for a $2 super chat and a $10 super chat. Saquist for a $20 super chat. Tomcat for a $5 super chat, and Tamrox just for the $20 super chat. Thank you guys. You guys fucking rock, man. It is 11:48. There's probably other people who are going to be streaming here soon. So let me throw up the Patreon video that's woefully out of date, and we'll keep talking here. I want to get some more chat. Where'd you go? Video. There you are. VLC player. My guy, yesterday I was doing our hangout on Patreon and I forgot to hit freaking record till halfway through. I'm a complete idiot sometimes. Knucklehead, as Mufi Finobi said, which is actually very accurate. So yeah, we're not leaving just yet, folks, but I mean, every time I put this video up, people kind of dip. All right, so let's get back to the chat. Alan Sparks is here. Matthew Madsen is here. Tim F is here. Silver Spike. Alan Sparks, what's up? What's up? Manifest tonight? Whew. I don't think so, Tim. The drop off on that was insane. Like we got 10,000 views on our first video. We got 3,000 views on our second video. And our third video hasn't even hit 1,000. So, I mean, I do have a 4-episode rule. So, yeah, a definite maybe. I might record a short one, but that's probably going to be it. The ratings kind of reflect the interest too. They've kind of dipped. You're seeing our wonderful patrons here, where at the end of this video that you're seeing, you will see a representation of the stuff that you get from us. I was just a TV series finale. Let's go and check out Manifest ratings. Manifest. Yeah. So right there, those are the comics you get at the $5 level. And these is the reputation of the what's in the box that you get in the $15 level. So thank you very much for everybody who's part of the Patreon. You also get exclusive stuff. So it's cool. So TV series finale, we're going to go to Manifest and see what the ratings are for Manifest. Manifest season 1 ratings are as follows. Yep. Okay. So it got 10 million views on the first episode, 8.5 million for the second, 7.4 on the third. That is not a good trajectory. So it's down 18% on the second episode, 11% from the drop wasn't as large in the third one. But that's significant. So we're now down 3 million viewers from the first episode in just 3 episodes. So yeah, people are dipping. People are dipping on that show. Yeah, it's going way off. Whispers Manifest feels like the same show. Probably won't get a season 2. Yeah, Manifest, Tim F. You can see what they're going to do. It's procedural. So the passengers got these like psychic-y powers. So that's going to be a story in the background. But what the show is actually going to be is following a cop, because every show has to have a cop, right? And we're going to solve crimes, but we're going to not have those pesky clues or investigations. They're just going to get feelings with their psychic abilities. And then they're going to magically, it's not clues or crimes. It's trying to interpret the voice in your head, which honestly I try to do every day, and to a massive failure. And so you get like a little word like free them. At first you think it's free the dogs, but then it's free the kids who were in the back of the yard. But there was nothing leading up to that. There was one little piece. Yeah, it's not good. The hunky, chunky, funky monkey says, Nerdrotic channel, you spelt Mary Ashmead's name wrong in the Patreon vid. Did I? Unless, of course, her name is Mary Ashmead. Oh, I meant to, did I forget the Ashmead? Well, that's what happens when you're in a hurry. Thanks for pointing it out. I'll fix it. I think I put the wrong. I think I saved the wrong version because I got a couple names wrong on that one. To be honest with you, instead of feelings in hallways, it's feelings with magical abilities. Yes. Uh, it sounds like Manifest is picking up where Leftovers are lost, and 4400 Apple Crow. Lubella thinks hers is misspelled too. Probably is. We'll fix it. It's yeah. It's not like you're all called John Smith. uh um uh, oh, don't forget about the special kid with the little ability who warns us about our future through his art. Yes. I love that they just went through this crazy experience where they got in a flight, landed 5 years later, and then all of a sudden they're getting voices in their head, and then the little kid with cancer starting to draw pictures with shadow people in it, and the dad just goes, that's weird. Like, doesn't think about, like, I don't know, if that happened to me, I'd spend every waking moment going, did I just die? Did something nab me? Did something replace me and I don't know it yet? And I'm just gonna like melt away into some alien body. I'd be worried about it. The stream is buffering. Let me check. Boom, 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 boom. It might be a time to end it if it's buffering bad though. Let me I can go and check my stream. It says it's okay. So is it spinning for you? All that works. I have to watch Dr. Phil, and that time I got I got reincarnated as slime before before I run errands. Yes, stream is fine here. I got a few buffering. Yeah, it's buffering. Okay, so we could it is now. Here, if I close another 2 windows, that should take care of it. Usually I have too many windows up. Let's get rid of that too. And you know what? That's a great time to end it. It's almost lunchtime. You people have to go. And I have like obviously a Patreon video to fix. Oh man. Well, at least you guys are paying attention. It did buffer a few seconds for me, but I hit the live button and it's fine. Is CW trying to stifle the truth? Uh, uh, yeah, probably. So our calendar that we're hopefully going to get finished, we got a photographer, is going to be the theme of it is going to be feelings and hallways. It is going to be feelings and hallways. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know how one goes about making a calendar. I can figure it out. It's probably pretty fucking easy, to be honest with you. We got the photographer, and yes, so that is a promise we need to fulfill. I really wanted to fulfill it this year. Now, me leaving the job early is kind of shaken up the life a little bit, but not too much. So I'm still working on getting finances together so we can get this shop going. So we can, but in the meantime, you're going to be getting a lot of stuff. I'll be doing reaction videos and news videos, and I'll be appearing hopefully still on other people's live streams. Oh yeah, it's nude feelings in hallways, Silver Spike. Yes. So we're going to reenact all the CW shows, but naked, basically me and Dennis, because we don't want anybody to see that calendar. You guys will use it as kindling, and it will start riots. Comic book girl 19 has a saucy calendar. I bet she does, Ian Bachelor. There's a reason she's popular. She has decent comic book knowledge. But there's a reason she's popular. She's actually a good channel. I haven't watched her of late. She kind of had a meltdown, and then she went to Twitch, and I don't know what happened after that. But I was a fan. All good, Ian Bachelor. No, she's cool. I like her. Asking for a friend. Mako. Will we have Dennis naked in the bath with coconut milk looking innocently at the camera? I hope so. I really hope so. That would be hilarious. We've got this awesome German girl photographer who always goes, "Das cool. That's cool. I really like that." Yeah. Uh, yes, the things we can do with action figure. Ah, there we go. Now I get the warning that my stream's all screwed up. Is currently configuring. The video's primary and backup streams have different frame rates. It says that all the time. It's my camera. I need to update my camera. All right, everybody. Now you can go watch my review of Doctor Who. Yes. I tried to keep it short. I was trying to keep that one short. It still went 32 minutes. But yeah, I'm out of here. So peace out, everybody. You have a great day. Be nice to each other as well as you can. But if somebody's an asshole, make sure to call them on it. But have your receipts. Make sure you have your receipts for shit. And our next show will be later tonight. It's going to be House. I always want to say the House on Haunting Hill, but it's the Haunting of Hill House. It is a series on Netflix. It is quite good. I'm going to finish it up and I'll let you know what I think later. Our week is pretty open, but if you go to nerdrotic.com, our schedule is on the right. We're going to have another nooner. We added a Wednesday as a nooner. Of course, we have Friday Night Tights. I am going to cover at some point today Harvey Birdman, Attorney General. Can't wait to cover that one. And yeah, and then whatever pops up. And Daredevil is later next week. Cannot wait for Daredevil. Looking forward to Daredevil. And yeah, rejoice. Counterpart is coming back December 9th. Everybody, take care. May the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Cheers.